Welcome to What We Hear in the Northern Tier, a Tioga Publishing Company production. This week, we are looking at the June 4th editions of our papers. I'm Josh Magnotta. I'm the sports editor for the Wellsboro Gazette, the Free Press Courier, and the Potter Leader Enterprise. I'll be your host for this week's episode. If you have news or stories you would like to share, or if you just want to say how much you enjoy the show, you can drop me a line at josh@tiogapublishing.com. During today's show, keep an ear out for the Word of the Week, where we will have one word from a headline in both the Wellsboro Gazette and the Free Press Courier, as well as the Potter Leader Enterprise. Glance through your papers and find the word in the headlines. The first person to respond with the correct headline will win a prize. Email news@tiogapublishing.com with your answers. Now on to this week's stories. Let's start above the fold. In the Wellsboro Gazette, the Jailhouse Elm came down this week. The tree, which was over 250 years old, was cut down on June 2nd. With declining health from yellow elm's disease and a visibly hollowed center, the tree was a safety concern. Dincher and Dincher tree surgeons spent Monday removing the canopy branches as a crowd watched. School classes came down to observe, as did people from the borough and surrounding townships. The trunk came down on Tuesday morning. The tree removal team discovered evidence of root rot in the base of the elm's trunk. In the Free Press Courier, Tioga County marked the opening of 7 new ATV connector routes totaling 7.5 miles. Doubling the number of trails and miles on May 28th at the Clymer Township Volunteer Hose Company in Sabensville. In the Potter Leader, Commissioner Paul Heimel presented statistics associated with the hoped-for passage of House Bill 2141 at the May 29th Potter County Commissioners meeting. If passed, HB 2141 would return to the county a portion of the revenue the state receives from timber sales and leases on state land. Heimel and other supporters have been in discussions with Representative Martin Causer and Senator Chris Dush in efforts to return what they believe is a fair share to county municipalities and schools. Now for some sports news. In the Wellsboro Gazette, Wellsboro High School hosted the Tioga County Special Olympics on Friday, May 29th. The event is usually held at Mansfield University, but this year, renovations necessitated a change of scenery. Donna Cummings, chairperson for Tioga County Special Olympics, said that Dr. Karen Ferrer, director of Special Olympics, started working with our team, and we were invited to use the Wellsboro High School. I can't tell you how wonderful and welcoming they were for us. All the students who came out to set up and clean up, they couldn't have been more welcoming. In the Free Press Courier, the Elmira Pioneers fell to the Batavia Muck Dogs 9-6 and 12-1 in the first 2 games of the 2026 Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. This marks the 136th season for the Pioneers. Elmira's Brett Baker led the Pioneers at the plate, going 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs in the first game of the season. In the Potter Leader Enterprise, the North Tier League recently announced the Baseball and Softball All-Stars. Port Allegheny boasted 3 players on the baseball team, while Oswego Valley earned 2 spots and Coudersport had 1. The Northern Potter Lady Panthers and the Port Allegheny Lady Gators had 3 players each on the softball squad. Coudersport earned 1 spot there. Now for a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by the River Valley Regional YMCA. Whether you're looking to try a new group exercise class, hit the cardio floor, build strength, or get involved in sports and family programs, the Y has something for everyone. It's more than a workout. It's a supportive community that helps you move more, stress less, and feel right at home. The River Valley Regional YMCA, Tioga County Branch in Mansfield. There's no place like this place. Join today. Before we get into the Word of the Week, I would like to make a special mention. In this week's paper, we had a special section for graduates in both Potter and Tioga counties. You can find this special graduation insert in all our weekly papers. Now for the word of the week. This week's word of the week in the Potter Leader is pickleball. In the Wellsboro Gazette and the Free Press Courier, the word of the week is noir. Remember, the word of the week will be in a story headline. Once you find the word in your paper, email news@tiogapublishing.com with your answers. The first person to respond will win a prize. Alright, for a little bit of a deeper dive, let's take a look at a story I wrote in the Wellsboro Gazette this week. We're looking at the FIFA World Cup. Mexico and South Africa will kick off the biggest FIFA World Cup in history when the teams meet at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City on June 11th. This year, the World Cup will feature 48 teams, a significant increase from the 32 teams in previous years. A total of 104 games will be played across 16 cities across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The United States boasts the lion's share of matches, with 78 games taking place across 11 stadiums. The United States is ranked 16th heading into the tournament and is a considerable underdog, though the team has shined more often than not under coach Mauricio Pochettino, who took command in 2024. The Stars and Stripes are 14, 9, and 2 under Pochettino, and advanced to the CONCACAF Gold Cup final, where they fell 2-1 to Mexico. Pochettino's team will rely on AC Milan's Christian Pulisic and Juventus midfielder Weston McKennie up front, while a strong defense has held opponents to an average of just 0.7 goals per game. In 12 appearances, the United States has never won the FIFA World Cup. France, Spain, and Argentina are the top 3 teams heading into the World Cup this year. France has a star-studded roster that includes Kylian Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele. Mbappe's 12 World Cup goals are second only to Argentina's Lionel Messi with 13. Dembele scored 7 goals for Paris Saint-Germain in the UEFA Champions League this season, including a pivotal equalizer in the 65th minute of the championship match against Arsenal on Saturday, May 30th. France came just short of winning back-to-back World Cups in 2022 when they lost 4-2 on penalty kicks after a 3-3 draw against Argentina. Meanwhile, Spain boasts a talented young roster that includes standout Barcelona winger Lamine Yamal. Yamal was responsible for 16 goals and 12 assists for Barcelona in the Champions League this season. Then there's Argentina, the reigning World Cup champions, with a 39-year-old Messi competing in his 6th World Cup. Argentina returns much of the same roster that won the trophy in Qatar in 2022 and is looking to become just the 3rd country to successfully defend their title, joining Italy in 1934 and 38 and Brazil 1958 and 1962. Though Messi is 39, he is coming off a championship season with Major League Soccer's Inter Miami, with whom he scored 12 goals in 14 games this year. Once the games begin, check back for weekly updates. Now I'll hand the mic over to Christy, who will take us back in time for a look at our Way Back When section.
Okay, so I guess we're going to go back 100 years in the Gazette. On June 2nd, 1926, on trial in Mansfield were Mr. and Mrs. Kroll. They were jointly indicted for violations of the liquor law. Detective E.A. Young testified that he had searched the premises of the Krolls and was unable to find any liquor, but in 3 different locations in the yard, containers with liquors were dug up. 1 was found in the yard and 2 beneath the floor of the chicken coop. And from the Potter Leader, 125 years ago, Edwin Mitchell, who did not live a great distance from Coudersport, had purchased a pig while in town the previous week. While eating his dinner at Thompson House, someone removed the pig from the bag in which he had placed it and substituted a cat, which Mitchell took home. And in 1976, on June 2nd, from the Potter Leader, is George Fitzsimmons had faced another day in court amid reports that his mental condition had not improved to the point where he could complete his trial for the murder of his aunt and uncle. Fitzsimmons had previously been committed for the slaying of his parents in Buffalo.
Thank you for sharing that, Christy. And thank you for listening to this week's episode. Remember to look for the word of the week in your papers. If you or someone you know would like to advertise with us, email news@tiogapublishing.com. This has been What We Hear in the Northern Tier. As always, take care.